Hello citizens and welcome. What if I were to ask you right here and right now, what are the most useless features CIG could implement in the game that you would still want to see? A few days ago, CIG shared an Inside StarCitizen episode where they showed us tattoos, piercings, and new hairstyles. Well, I smiled and thought, why not? Anyway, you know very well that here with Citizen Bob, we don't waste time complaining or bad-mouthing the developers, who in the end are giving us a game that entertains us, makes us talk, and moves us emotionally. So I tried asking this question, what are the most useless features CIG could implement in the game, to other players on Reddit. The results were, to say the least, exciting, even though quite often the ideas that came up were far from useless. For these reasons, I intend to start a little series of videos that I like to call
Useless, but I want it. I know it makes no sense, but I need it. Useless, but I want it. Let me dream, just let me feel it.
I want to start by thanking everyone who participated in the Reddit post. Let's start today's episode with ideas that came up in the field of exploration, with a particular focus on ground exploration. The first idea is something truly useful, perhaps even easy to implement, and I will surely, absolutely love it. Imagine being on any of the planets in Star Citizen. For some reason, you're without your ship. Maybe you've wandered off, maybe you had an accident and escaped with an escape pod. You're in the middle of nowhere, and no one seems to want to come rescue you, but you're simply enjoying the moment. I think it would be amazing to just open your backpack, find a tent to set up right there, and have the option to continue this adventure at another time. With this kit, you could log out wherever you are. The kit would include a small one-person tent with a sleeping bag that would work like the ship beds currently do, and maybe something for air filtration in case you're on a planet without a breathable atmosphere. Oh god, I would love something like that. And I think it would add a lot of depth to the game without significantly changing its current mechanics, while greatly enhancing immersion. Well, it's nice to dream, isn't it? Now, since I have called this series It's Useless But I Want It, let me give you a rundown of some of the truly useless ideas that were proposed. It's FLUFF Time! Fluff number 1, diabetes. Fluff number 2, picking flowers. Fluff number 3, and this is the one, functioning UE towel mechanics. Now let's get back to somewhat serious stuff related to exploration. Still in the spirit of opening the doors to land exploration, a possibly even simpler implementation could be ground vehicles with beds. Take the Ursa for example, and imagine you're traveling alone or with a friend and reach an incredible spot. Wouldn't it be nice to have the Ursa in camper mode? Now let's take a look at the interiors and try to imagine it. This section can remain unchanged and serve as a storage and space for components. On this side, you could fit 2 bunk beds, maybe foldable ones. At the back we could remove the ramp. I think it's unnecessary with the other access point. And we could add a small bathroom with a shower in full Star Citizen style. And then a little kitchenette, maybe with a small fold-out table and 2 folding chairs. Wouldn't that be a little gem? Of course, you'd have to be careful not to use the bathroom at the wrong time on a bumpy road. But in my opinion, among the vehicles already in the verse today, there's an even better option for this. Imagine an exploration or scientific research version of the Spartan. And also with the interior of these, there's so much you could do. You could imagine a living space for 3 or 4 people in the back, and again you can lose the rear ramp and the one on the side doors to gain more room. And in the front, instead of all the weapon slots, you could have scientific monitoring station, remote drone controls, basically a whole nice package. Of course, even in this case, you'd have to use it carefully. Bob? Take it easy, Bob. Bob, I'm handling some pretty unstable substances here, Bob. Bob? Now we come to the last point. This one's tough, this one's tricky, and we'll probably never see it. Or maybe we'll just see a Beam Citizen version, but hey, I think I might even settle for that. So what's the point of giving us microtech and then not giving us the ability to climb all those mountains and to do a bit of mountaineering? Well, someone else might say, what's the point of climbing mountain when you can easily fly on top of them with your ship? Well, it's hard to argue against that logic. But to quote one of the greatest climbers in history, I'd want to climb them because they are there. Beside the sporting and leisure use, having this gear would help give the game more verticality, allowing for more different ground missions and approaches and situations, like high-altitude combat, for example, or the freedom of movement seen in games like Assassin's Creed, or the legendary grappling hook from Just Cause. Yeah, this would probably be the most similar solution to the Beam Citizen way of doing things. Alright, that's it for a strange, useless idea that we'd still like to see implemented in the game. You can contribute to expanding this list by leaving a comment with your own ideas about exploration or any other context. In next episodes, we'll talk about food, sports, entertainment, and also one of the most mentioned potential feature. See you next time, citizens, and remember, stay happy, stay Bob.